Are you a solo esthetician and you've ever experienced this where you're super pumped, so excited, opening your business, and then you find yourself crying in your car or at home, just waiting for clients to book and it's not turning out quite as you thought? There's actually a name to this. It's called the emotional cycle of change. I learned this from Alex Hermosi. It's really important that you're proactive and you understand these 6 stages. So I'm going to break them down quickly for you today. Keep on listening. We'll get into it. Welcome to The Rebel Show, the podcast for estheticians who want to grow their business, master social media, and perfect their waxing technique. I'm Brie Mesquit, esthetician, business coach, and founder of Rebel Wax and First to Market Wax Pads. I built a 6-figure clientele, a 7-figure brand, and have trained over 15,000 waxers through my in-person and online courses. Are you struggling to book clients or market yourself? You're in the right place. Each week, I bring real business strategies, waxing education, and no BS advice to help you grow. Let's get into it. All right, so I learned this from Alex Hermosi. So what podcast does Brie listen to? Alex and Layla Hermosi are the 2 number ones that I always go for. Alex is more marketing, advertising, really generating leads and money for your business. Layla is more leadership and structure of the business. And they are husband and wife, if you didn't get that by their same last name. But that's the podcast that I'm usually listening to. I heard him explain this and I was like, yes, I go through this cycle all the time. So I want to break it down for you guys. It is the emotional cycle of change. I wanted to try to come up with like a better, saying or word name for this cycle, but I'm just going to keep it as he described it. So the first is uninformed optimism. So what does this mean? What does that look like for us? That's us before we go solo. Okay, let me give you a story. This was me when I was at European Wax Center, and you could log in and you could see your numbers, and I saw how much the company was making. Now I know differently from being an owner. The company ain't bringing in anywhere near those numbers. But in my mind, I was like, oh my gosh, they're making $60,000 this quarter off of me. Anyways, whatever. I'm not going to get into all of that. But I had that uninformed optimism because I did not understand the ins and outs of business, profit and loss, your overhead, all of that stuff. So I was uninformed and I was very optimistic that if I went solo, I was going to be taking home $60,000 a quarter. Uninformed optimism. In this stage, you're super pumped. You're so excited. You're changing the world. You're gonna be rich. You are like, this is it. You have found the gold mine. You're super pumped. You're super motivated, and you're ready. You're all in. You're ready to go. But in this stage, this is when you start, okay, I'm gonna make my logo. What's my business name gonna be? Here's my color scheme that I'm gonna use. Like, it's all that fun stuff that you start diving into. And it's a very emotional high. It's super emotional high. You got that dopamine hit. You are so ready. You're telling everyone about it. You're super pumped. Then you get started. Then you have to do the real work and you move into stage 2 of informed pessimism. So now you understand that there's a lot more that goes into this, and it's a lot harder than you thought, and you start to be pessimistic. So have more of those negative thoughts. Wait, maybe this won't work. I don't know if I can do this. I don't know if I can fill my books. I'm scared I'm not going to be able to pay my lease next month. Like, this actually is really scary, and I don't know if I can do it. It's going to take longer than I thought. It's going to be harder than I thought it was going to be. And this is where people start to really slow down. And sometimes they split their attention. They're like, okay, you know what? This isn't really working how I thought. I'm going to just work this part-time and go get like a job as a server or something in the evening. And nothing wrong with this, but I encourage people to already have that planned out beforehand before going solo. I'm getting a little off topic of what I want to talk about in this one specific, but like, don't just quit your job and go all in, especially if you have family and bills and responsibilities. If you're living at home with your parents and they're willing to float your bill, my coaching clients that had that scenario, I was like, girl, go all in. You're not going hungry or homeless. You're fine. Sure, maybe you can't go out to the club every weekend, but like, you are fine. You have your basic necessities. opportunities. Go all in. Quit the job, go all in on your business. But then there are those who it's like, you maybe you're a single mom or you have a family, like you are responsible for half the bills. Please be smart about this. Then keep the job and work part-time. I'm talking about in this scenario where you're kind of giving up a little bit on having that optimism of, I can really make this work. It's like, maybe I can't make this work. Let me make sure I have my chips in another basket as well. And that can actually really slow you down on your business. So that's stage 2, is that you're more informed of the hard work it's going to take, and you have a little bit more negativity behind that. Then you enter stage 3. I hate the term of this, but it's so true, and I've been here many times, the valley of despair. This is where most people quit. They're just like, I failed this business. This isn't for me. This isn't working. This isn't quite what I thought it was going to be. You enter the valley of despair, and this is where most people quit. Here's the problem. Once you quit in this stage, you will have a little bit of time where you're like, you don't want to touch the business anymore at all. You're just, it's whatever. You go back to maybe doing what you were doing before, get a different job. But then the cycle will start again, because you will have that brilliant idea pop back up and you're like, know what? Okay, maybe waxing didn't work, but I'm going to start a spray tanning business. And now you're back to that uninformed optimism. Maybe the service was the problem, not me, not creating the structure and the foundation that a business requires, not taking the action that a business requires. I'm moving back to stage 1 of uninformed optimism. I'm starting a new business. And then you get started on that. You create the font, or the logos, you pick your font, you pick your color scheme. You're all excited and motivated again. Then you move into, oh wait, this is hard too. This takes time too. And most people keep in this cycle. I know you know a friend or family member who comes, and this used to be me. I had so many ideas. I think at one point I thought I was like going to write children's books and then create like some kids non-toxic nail polish. Like there's so much random crap that and even now I have shiny object syndrome. I'm like, oh, I want to do this and this, but I've learned this cycle and I've broken the cycle. So we need to move from stage 3 of the valley of despair. Stop trying to start something new, and you got to push through this. When you push through this is where the big money and the big change comes. I have a quick message for you guys from our sponsors, Gloss Genius. They are incredible. I legitimately do use them, and this sponsorship came about naturally because of that. I love them. Gaps in your schedule, clients not rebooking, credit card fees eating into your profits. Does this sound familiar? You want to be making more money, but there's only so many hours in the day, and most beauty entrepreneurs are already doing everything themselves. Half the time, you can't even sit down and eat lunch. That's the truth. That's why I love Gloss Genius. Honestly, it's like having a little mini assistant running in the background of your business, helping you fill your bucks, uncover revenue already sitting inside your business, and taking care of so much of the admin side automatically. And unlike a lot of other systems, their point of sale actually helps you make more money. From rebooking clients right at checkout to increasing average ticket spend to saving you money with a low flat rate processing and zero hidden fees. Ready to earn more and take back your time? Use code REBEL, REBEL, at glossgenius.com, and you will get 50% off your first 2 months of their premium plans. Gloss Genius has been so helpful for exactly what I'm talking about. All these stages, like there is so much that you can automate through their system to make your life a little bit easier. It's still going to be hard. Building a business is hard, but I absolutely love the tools that they have built into the system. It's been my favorite booking site that I've used so far. All right. So now what do we do? How do we break through to stage 4? What is stage 4? Now you're moving from the valley of despair, right? You're having a crisis to informed optimism. And I'm happy to say that is exactly where I am at right now with our studio. I am informed on the amount of work it takes. I'm informed on how hard it really truly is. And I'm informed on what the potential really is, but I have more realistic expectations of how long it can take to get there. I don't think that this is going to happen overnight, but so I'm optimistic. I'm informed. I understand the work ahead of me. I understand understand what it takes, and I'm optimistic about it. I have positive thoughts about it. I'm no longer informed and feeling defeated. I'm now informed and willing to put in the work, and I'm excited again. I'm tired. You guys are going to be tired too, but I'm excited. So it's getting to that point of like, okay, this is working. And that's exactly how I feel right now. My new girl that we just hired, her first 7 days, she had 31 clients on the books because of me doing all the things that I know I need to be doing, that I've learned. You guys are learning. I'm sharing it all. I'm not gatekeeping not one single thing from you guys. I'm sharing it all with you, like in real time, as me actually actively doing these things. So you guys just got to implement it. Seeing the small wins, starting to see patterns. This is where you start to see and learn patterns. So for example, like you're going to see clients actually rebooking. Maybe a referral or two comes in. When you do a DM reach out, they actually book. Exciting. So you stop really guessing and you start learning what works, and you continue to do that. So then you move into stage 5 of success. This is who I am now. I am a waxing studio owner, and you will have that identity of stamping that of this is who I am. I am a solo esthetician. I own XYZ business, and this is what I do. And this is a great, great stage to be at. And this is exactly how I feel with our product-based business. And with this, with media and all of that, I'm feeling like, okay, I'm having a level of success. And what makes me feel successful? It's not the income. My husband and I have not taken a pay raise in 3 years. My success comes from the DMs from you guys, from people saying, I listen, like the other day, someone posted that they were listening to me in their car. I was like, oh my gosh, this is so cool. Like, thank you. She's like, you've changed my business. That right there is success for me. I'm like, hell yeah. The fact that I can take what I've learned, going through all these stages, being in that valley of despair, deciding I'm not going to quit, push forward, and then be able to pass this along to you guys, that's my definition of success, truly. So for you guys, you need to figure out too, what's your definition of success? Yes, we all need to pay our bills. So it's not a bad thing to have a revenue goal, but better yet, a take-home goal. So you're living we want to live a lifestyle that we dream of, right? You know, it doesn't have to be extravagant, but like I'm stoked. We can pay our bills now. We used to struggle to pay our monthly rent. And as I'm sure a lot of you guys can relate. We can go eat out at a restaurant. We could take a trip. Like it's amazing. And you also, though, want something beyond the monetary too. Having clients come in. One of my favorite things, being more client focused, is people who are really embarrassed or nervous to come in, felt really insecure. And then we've been getting so many compliments how people feel like we're super non-judgmental, down to earth, relatable, and that they've even been to waxing centers here locally and they didn't feel that way and they felt super judged and like, excuse me, that dude. Like this one lady, it was so sad. She walked in, she was wearing a mask, and I was thinking maybe she was like sick or something. But then I saw she was down for a full face. I'm like, oh, I kind of hope she's not sick because she's gonna have to take that off so we can wax her. She had PCOS, so she had a ton of hair, which I don't love that for her. I love that for me as the waxer. I'm like, yes, this is going to be so satisfying. Like, I'm about to change this lady's like whole day. But she went to another studio and the girls had like super mean girl vibes and energy and just made her feel very judged. I'm like, that freaking sucks. So I feel a duty now here in Bend to let people know that we exist, because everyone deserves to be able to get waxed and to feel confident and feel the benefits of waxing. People want to not worry about hair poking out at the river and all the things. You guys know, you're in the business too, but that's one of my favorite things. I love that. So that can be a definition of success for you guys too. And hopefully that helps drive you forward to continue even when it gets hard and really break this cycle. So then I told you there are 6 stages. I guess I kind of got ahead of myself, but it's stage 6 is fulfillment and then the next mountain. For me, what that looked like in my business was I built out the clientele. I was at least being able to pay my bills through it. And then I started training other estheticians. That was my fulfillment in my next mountain to climb. It's like, all right, how can I now teach what I've learned and how can I iterate that in a way that is understandable to others and that they can implement so they can grow their businesses too. So at some point you will reach that stage where it's time to look outside of yourself. Maybe this also looks like hiring employees and creating a great job opportunity. I'm so proud of that at our studio. The amount that the girls at our studio are able to make now and have like a really solid, cool, like great schedule and have that balance, that life and work balance makes me feel really good. So that could be a stage for you too. Maybe you don't go into education, maybe you go into hiring. It's hard to find a good job. I'm European wax centers, man. Like, I'm just going to call it how it is. Yes, they have a good structure and plan, but they treat people like crap. They treat and not all of them. I cannot categorize all of them. Okay. It's a franchise. It's by owner, but they have the worst rating on Glassdoor, which is a platform you can go and look at reviews for like employment opportunities and see. And we all know, we've all heard I have my own European Wax Center story. So I think it's up to us, those of us who reach this stage, it's like create that opportunity for the next generation of esthetician. Allow them to make not only a livable, but a thriving wage and be able to do the same for clients of reaching that level of success, right? Of getting those amazing stories back of them feeling more confident now and feeling really comfortable in your studio. Like, create those opportunities. Once you can get outside of just what's in it for you and how I can touch and change other people, dude, that's when I feel it's that I've made it moment. So, all right, I hope this was helpful. I know it's not like the most fun stuff, but it's really important. It's really important to be educated and informed on this cycle so you can break it. I see cycles 1, 2, and 3 rotated all the time within our industry and outside of our industry as well. All right, guys, now if you're ready to really start building up your business, I want you to go listen to this episode from last week all about what I'm currently doing to get those 31 new clients and 69 so far for June as well for my new waxer. I'm sharing it all. Go check it out. And if you're listening on Spotify, you'll head to episode 108. I'll see you guys over there.